We have been traveling and living in Mexico for a year now, and the culture and the beauty of Mexico still amazes me. I truly have to pinch myself every day when I think about all the places we've been, from the Gulf of Mexico all the way down to Ishkalak. Let us show you some of the places you are probably missing if you only stay in Cancun.
1 year of doing 3 suitcases, and we're going to give you kind of a little geographical tour. We're going to start with where pretty much everybody's going to start when you land in Cancun.
Yeah.
We don't really have much to say about Cancun.
I really don't.
If you're 21 and on spring break, knock yourselves out. But there's
if it's your first time to Mexico, you can even stay there just to get a taste of it. But it's just not.
Yeah, the hotel zone and the beaches there are stunning. The water's great. All the water activities kind of start there and stuff.
Yeah,
but
let's move on. Seriously, we just want to move on because everybody knows about Cancun. So we're just moving on.
Okay. The one thing I can say great about Cancun is that's where we left to go on our very first video we made, actually, was swimming with the whale sharks.
Oh, yes. That very first video we made, very first adventure we had when we came down here that started the whole thing was swimming with whale sharks. If you guys have not done that, book that tour. It's not, you don't get to touch them or do anything like you do with the dolphins. It's not the same thing. It's a whole another experience, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever done.
They're the size of a school bus, and I was mistaken. I thought they were going to eat Renee, but they didn't. So
they're friendly. They're gentle giants. They're gentle giants.
And then also across from Cancun is Isla Mujeres, the island, and a couple of beautiful spots there. Punta Sur on the south side. You may not have heard of that, but if you go to Isla Mujeres, make sure you get down there to Punta Sur. And on the very opposite side, Playa Norte, on the north side of the island, one of the top beaches in the entire world.
Yes, absolutely. So I would say Isla Mujeres, if you are looking for amazing beaches, that is definitely where you should go and spend a day or a week or whatever. They have amazing restaurants, foods, Airbnbs. Rent a golf cart.
Do the whole island. We took a golf cart around the entire island.
We did. Yeah, that's absolutely a must.
Yeah, one of our favorite places.
One of our favorites.
So leaving, and now we're going to head inland just for a bit. Just a couple hours west of us, Valladolid, quaint town. Pueblo Magica, one of the magical towns. The central area is beautiful. There's a great cathedral. There's a convent. There's a cenote in town.
So Valladolid was actually one of the first places we visited by public transportation, taking the bus. And I will tell you, those buses are amazing. Very comfortable, very cheap. From Cancun to Valladolid, it was $16 for us to go there. And it's cool. Yeah, and it was like a two hour drive.
Yep.
On the bus. So it's only a 2-hour ride from the bus. So even if you stay in Cancun, you can do a tour and get on the bus and go to Valladolid for the day. It is amazing, and you do have to check out the cenote right in the middle of the town.
Yes. And then if you want a day trip from there, just north of town, probably a half hour, the ruins of Ek Balam.
Ek Balam. That was actually one of the very last ruins we did. You would have thought that we would be bored with ruins, but Ek Balam, I'm actually glad we saved that for last because it still amazed me. The Acropolis is one of the most fascinating ruins that we got to climb because halfway up is that tomb. And the carvings there are so pristine, but it's also one of the most recent ones to be discovered.
Right. And it is so tall there, besides the whole grounds being beautiful. When you're on the top, you can actually see the ruins of Koba, which is a long ways away, and the ruins of Chichen Itza, which is a long ways away off in the distance. You wouldn't be able to recognize it, but
as long as it's a clear day, you can see the shadow of the top of those ruins as well. That was amazing to us.
Yes. So if we're gonna head north from there, let's keep heading north.
Okay.
Let's go to Isla Holbox.
Aw, that one stole my heart.
Yeah, she thought it was magical.
Well, because there is a magical moment. If you guys haven't seen that video.
And by the way, let me interrupt real quick. Every one of these places we have a video on. We've been to lots of other places. We're only going to talk about the places we've done videos on. But Isla Holbox was the first place that she said she wanted to go back to.
Yeah, that place stole my heart. I loved the vibe. I loved everything about Isla Holbox. It's just harder to get to. So.
Yeah, you go to a little town called Chiquila and take the ferry over.
Yeah.
So it's not that tricky. It's just it's a bit of a poke, and you're gonna want to spend a few days there anyway. So no sense in rushing it. It's beautiful there.
Dirt roads, by the way. You can't bring your car over. There are no cars. So you're either getting a golf cart, which bumpy, if they haven't recently resanded the roads, or if it rains, you are gonna have issues riding around in a golf cart. Watch our video, you'll see.
We didn't go into too much depth of that one, but we had real issues with this.
We did run into some puddles and had a real issue, but you'll only see a little snippet of it.
Yeah,
but
the bioluminescent bay, the golden, the sunsets.
The sunset is a must-see in Holbox. Everybody, get there early because the piers will be packed with people by the time the sun sets. So get there early so you can get a good spot. But then the sandbar, the sandbar was awesome. You walk out into this area, and the sandbar ends up being like ankle high or whatever.
Yeah, you're 50 yards out during low tide. It's actually probably 20, 30 feet wide where you can walk on dry sand way out in the Gulf of Mexico.
But then the topper is if you are there and you stay overnight and it happens to be not a full moon, like a dark night, and you go out to bioluminescent bay, that's where the magic happens.
Bring bug spray.
That is true. But we could talk about all these places forever. We're just trying to give you guys the highlights. But I am telling you, if you get a chance to go to bioluminescent bay, you have to. You just have to.
Stayed along the Gulf of Mexico then, Rio Lagartos and Los Colorados, which are kind of right next to each other. We took an eco tour.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
That was, I'm going to say, that was one of my scariest trips. And I say scary, but it's because you go to Rio Lagartos, there's no beaches, there's nothing like that. It is all about the boats and the tours and the fishing and the birds, the pelicans and the
flamingos.
The flamingos. My scariest part is what I'm going to get to is the crocodiles. They come right up to the boat, right up to the boat. You don't know if they're hungry or not.
Baby had the YouTube the camera out. She wanted to pull it back. She was scared. I'm like, no, stay there. She's like, yeah, easy for you to say.
Right? Yeah.
It was on her side.
Yeah. So, I mean, my hand was literally within a foot of this crocodile, and I was so scared. But I did it.
And right next door to Los Colorados, they have these pink ponds. And that's part of the reason the flamingos get pink.
Yes.
They put these chemicals in, the sun dries these ponds out, turns into salt, they mine that. Unfortunately, the day we were there, the ponds that we could see had just been changed. They weren't pink at all.
So they were pink. So you might get lucky and get the pink ponds. You know,
they do have mud baths there that you can cover yourself in. It's supposed to help make you look younger and replenish the skin. And obviously, I didn't do it because I still look old.
We actually, I only did my hand or whatever, but when we were on the boat going out there, everybody coming back was full of mud. You could see it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to take the rest of the trip that way.
Moving on from there, when we start coming inland just a bit for a minute here, a little place called Chichen Itza.
Yeah.
One of the 7 wonders of the world. But on your way there's a little town that you can stop in called Kawa. There's a little restaurant there called La Tia de Kawa. And the lady there, she's got to be...
I don't know. She's old. Food. Let's just get to the food.
Pakchuk. Oh my God. My favorite restaurant in all of Mexico. La Tia de Kawa.
To be, even if, like I said, you're going to do a Chichen Itza tour from Cancun, I really hope your tour stops at this restaurant because you will be spoiled. That will be the best food you will have in Mexico going back to Cancun. You will not get this food again in Cancun. So I really hope they stop there.
All right, now let's get to one of the 7 wonders of the world.
You know.
Chichen Itza.
I'm still thinking the restaurant's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
One of the 7 wonders of the world, Kukulkan comes down the stairs on the spring and fall equinox, the snake. We were there. We specifically went there on the day of the fall equinox to see this.
Wah, wah, wah.
The place is pretty amazing, the Chichen Itza chirp. And right before the fall equinox, when the sun's in the perfect spot, storm rolls in. It was so bad they made everybody go home.
They shut it all down.
It was pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah. But be warned, there are so many ruins in Mexico, and we all know Chichen Itza is the main.
Yep.
The main one that everybody goes to see. But you can't climb Chichen Itza anymore, so I don't think you can do that. And it is very, very touristy. Like, the paths to all the areas are lined with vendors. So just be aware of that. They do have those whistles, though.
Yes.
They do, and I got one. I don't have it with me right now, but I did get one of those whistles. It's pretty cool. The Jaguar, yeah. So, and that was, you should get one of those. It's awesome.
Check out the video. You can hear Renee blow it on there. So let's keep heading west now for a little bit. Izamal, the Yellow City.
Yellow City.
The convent there is kind of, I don't know if it is the highlight, but it is certainly a beautiful, beautiful place. Second largest courtyard of any convent in the world. Second largest courtyard outside of the Vatican City.
Yeah, I loved Izamal. I was actually really shocked because it's a small place. And Mike tells the story in the video about why people think it's yellow. So you have to watch the video to check that out.
There's a few versions. But the other place that's in Izamal that you wouldn't even think about, there's another ruin there. Kinchkakmu. It's a ruined temple built to the sun god. It's right downtown. You can climb it and you can see kind of everywhere from there. That is really cool to have right in the middle of a yellow city. The market there is
I was just going to bring that up.
We had some great food there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you go there, you have to visit the market. You can't miss it. It's right across the street from the convent by the big park. You cannot miss it. Go to the market, eat there.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Still heading west, the city of Merida.
Oh.
Possibly my favorite city. We did a lot of day trips from there.
We did.
And we went there where it was a little bit cooler. It's blazing hot in the summertime. Check out the videos from in and around Merida, but that place is perfect.
I'm actually glad that Merida is not on the beach because it would have been overrun if it was by now. I loved Merida. It had the Governor's Palace. It was my favorite.
Murals in there.
The murals in there and the stories they tell. If you guys are into any kind of history at all, that's a place you have to visit. I know there's a cathedral there. I know there's all kinds of other things. But those murals, like I almost cried.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. So visit the Governor's Palace. You will see guards standing out front. They're not there to stop you. They're not there to stop you. They're just there to make sure everything's going well. You can go into the Governor's Palace. It's amazing.
And try to make sure you're there on a weekend. On Friday nights, they reenact a Pak game right in front of the cathedral.
And the video mapping.
On
the
which
church.
Is stunning. That is so beautiful.
Yes. The other thing in Merida is they have this free walking tour. We didn't sign up for it. We just Googled it and found a free walking tour. So it is the person with the pink umbrella. Google it. You guys will find it. Free walking tour. They take you around for about an hour.
They're a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, and they tell you so much history. And it's not just the main area. They take you around to different places that you would never even thought of.
The other way to get around that area from the central area, take a horse-drawn carriage ride.
Yeah.
They take you up and down the Paseo de Monteo, which is the coolest street in the world.
Paseo de Monteo.
Yeah, based on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. I mean, that was pretty cool. I'm a romantic dude, obviously.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how romantic I am.
Yeah,
so.
we all know how romantic he is. Anyways, Paseo de Monteo, I've always just heard about the old mansions there. I did not realize that Paseo de Monteo has these amazing restaurants. The atmosphere at night is awesome. Like, and live music. The Paseo de Monteo blew me away. I was shocked.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother world from the center of Merida, but it's only like 3 blocks away.
Yeah, Merida's beautiful. Check it out. Check out the videos. Also, by the way, if you like this, you can always like, subscribe, comment to us. Tell us what you think of any of these places and stuff. We love to travel.
Yeah, likes are for you guys.
So then we took some day trips to Merida. We went to one we took, Mayapan.
Mayapan was, that is a truly hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Not enough people visit there, so you can get in there for what, like $1.50 or something.
Their ruins, it was like $3.25. The other ones are way more expensive.
Oh my god!
We had this place almost to ourselves. It's not the biggest or greatest, but when you're up on top, there's some great.
You can climb this one.
Yes. There's several to climb. We sat on the top of the main one, and it was quiet, and you could hear the wind, and it was pretty spiritual.
It was very, I don't know what was going on there, but it was thought processing. Like, you sat up there and you felt like you could feel everything. It was so amazing, and the view is awesome.
One of the few times she's been quiet in Mexico. Another place I found fascinating, we took a day trip from out of Merida, Mucuiche.
Oh.
So,
see, look, every time he mentions the name, I get excited because I just start remembering. Like, oh my god, yeah, that place was beautiful too. I just can't get over how amazing Mexico is. But
it was a hacienda,
which gave you the history.
Yes.
Of rope, like the rope ranching thing style, way back in the day, of how it all started.
Yeah, the Henneken industry, which was not good for the indigenous people. Don't get me wrong. You get the Sisal strains to make rope.
And we show you in our video how
check it out.
Check it out. But there's 2 cenotes. One is a cave cenote underground, which is very dark that we could not get very good video of. But that first cenote.
Oh, there's a waterfall in it. It doesn't look real. It looks like it's out of a movie set. It is beautiful.
Come on, it is amazing.
But the cave one that she said, where there's not a great view on the video of. But when you're in there, we had a private tour, and the guide was great. So you're staring at these stalactites.
It is.
Don't touch them, please. Don't be a jerk. But they were beautiful.
You will go through them, but in the video, I tried to show you guys a little bit of the cave. Pay attention to that video because there's a big tree on the top by the hacienda. When you go through the cave, there's a secret. When you go through the cave cenote, there's a huge secret. You guys have to watch that video to find out the secret.
Shh, don't tell anybody. We love some of our day trips to Merida. It probably really helped us love Merida even more. One of the day trips we took was actually our favorite bartender here in our town at Puerto Morelos. He recommended taking a day trip to Sisal, which was not on our radar.
Never even heard of it.
And it is, you watch the video. We tell you on the video, I'm going to tell you right now in this video, don't go there. Stop ruining towns in Mexico. This place is unspoiled. The beach has got to be 70 yards deep.
Quit talking about it.
It is another Pueblo Magica. We've been to several of those and stuff, but small town, unspoiled, beautiful beaches on the Gulf of Mexico.
That's our hidden gem. Shh. We don't talk to people about that one.
Okay, watch the video and then forget all about it.
Next.
Our next little day trip from Merida, we went to Xcaret, which is one of the 4 most powerful ruins in Mayan history.
Whether you know it or not, all these ruins are connected. I didn't even realize it until we started going to all of them, how connected these ruins are.
I even got her into history
I
now.
know, it's so crazy. So when you start going to ruins, pay attention to the history. All roads lead to another ruin.
Xcaret was awesome.
That's a smaller ruin as well. However, if you are going to be there to check out the ruin, you might as well go across the street and check out the chocolate museum.
Or not. I want to say or not. I did not want to go there. Mom is a chocolate freak. She talked me into it. Yes, it's well worth going to the chocolate museum.
So worth it, because there's more than just the history of chocolate there.
There's a lot more to it.
There's a lot more to it. Check out the video. You guys will be shocked.
Yeah, they got little history lessons going on. They got a little tiny zoo. They got a couple ceremonies. You
can watch the video, baby.
Yeah, you gotta watch the video.
You guys have to check out the video because there's so much more than you even know.
And one final day trip from Merida that we really, really enjoyed was...
I know it's coming.
We went to Chelum, that area, but Progreso and Xcaret. Xcaret, which you've probably never heard of unless you're a total nerd like me. That is where the meteorite hit that killed off all the dinosaurs 65 million and 34 years ago. Basically, Progreso, a big port area on the go.
I want to go back to Xcaret. Okay. Xcaret, where the meteorite hit, there's all these dinosaur statues. It's so cool. It's so cool. So if you go to Progreso, you might as well take the extra 10-minute drive to go check out the dinosaurs.
I don't think I think they're actually dinosaurs. And they just, when it hit, they just like fossilized wherever they were.
Just go check it out. It's really cute.
All right. But the town of Progreso really is where you come into. That is a cruise ship port. The pier is 4.5 miles long. It goes up because it's so shallow there to get all the big boats in. It is way out in the Gulf of Mexico.
Like you can't even see the end of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But being a cruise ship port, we were actually surprised how reasonable the prices were in Progreso.
The cheapest cruise ship town we were at.
Yeah. And the beaches were amazing.
Yeah.
The Malecon, if you walk the Malecon, it's longer than you think.
Yeah.
Keep walking till you get to the end. And
it doesn't end for a long time.
But if you guys do get to the end, you'll see if you watch our video where we got to the end. If you guys make it to the end, do a quick cheers to us and let us know what you thought.
Please send us that picture. There's a circus or a little carnival.
Yes.
Ferris wheel.
Merry-go-round.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's right there on the Malecon. The town was kind of built for the cruise ship port, but it was pretty cool.
But yeah, and the food there is really good. There's one place where we ordered a beer and then got a table full of food. All we wanted was the beer. We were not expecting all this food.
Yeah, I can't. We have to check out the video, but the beer I think was like $3 or $3.50.
Yeah.
In each, and we got a table full of food to come with our beer. We weren't even hungry. It just came with it.
Yeah. So just check Love Alley, another mention. Check out Love Alley. That's really cool. But yeah, check out Progreso. Check out Progreso.
Okay.
Now.
All right. So if we're gonna keep heading west, on another trip we took, we flew because you're not driving there, so we flew to Mexico City. And before we get to Mexico City, we went north of there about 4 hours. It's in a completely different state, the state of Hidalgo, mountains, desert, beautiful, but the most spectacular natural place we've ever seen, Grutas Tolantongo.
And it's not all natural, but the water, the hot springs itself, that is natural. But the pools that they built on the mountainside, okay, those are man-made, but they made them look really, really cool.
I meant the hot springs and the caves and the river. That's all natural.
The waterfalls, yes. It's beautiful. If you guys want to see something amazing and spectacular, I know it's a 4-hour trip from Mexico City, but it is so worth it.
Yeah, you've got to check that video out no matter what.
Yeah.
But let's get back to Mexico City where we landed. This place is way up in the air, and it is huge, by the way. It is the size of New York City and our entire original home state of Minnesota. Put the state of Minnesota's population into New York City. That is the population of Mexico City. This place is huge. It was loud. 23 million people, something like that.
Yeah, like 23 million people or something, and it's crazy. But that is a place you could spend a month in and probably not see everything.
Yeah, it's stunning.
But yeah, from the Zocalo area, Independence Plaza, whatever you guys want to call it, that central main area with the cathedral and
the National Cathedral, National Palace.
The National Palace. If you're coming to Mexico City, Independence Day,
that's where you want to be.
That's where you want to be. We have missed it. We missed it again. However,
we took a tour of the presidential palace, and he was home, but he wouldn't answer my call. So
yeah,
the Temple Mayor was there. I mean, these things may not make a lot of sense. Watch the videos; you'll know a lot more. But Mexico City was crazy.
Mexico City is the farthest out we went from the Yucatan area.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, when we get to Mexico City, they were celebrating the Yucatan to show everything the Yucatan had to offer. So when we were doing the Yucatan Festival in Mexico City, a lot of the places that they were mentioning, we'd already been to, which was kind of cool.
One of the day trips we took from Mexico City was to Teotihuacan, and that is a ruined site. It's not Mayan. It's the only non-Mayan one we went to, but it's not Aztecs. Aztecs came way later. But the Temple of the Moon and the Temple of the Sun are staggeringly large.
Yeah, and you can't climb, those are ones you cannot climb anymore, but they're huge. I don't know if I would have wanted to climb. What's the biggest one, the sun or the moon?
Sun.
The sun? I'm not even sure I would have wanted to climb it, you guys. It might have taken me 4 hours just to get up there.
Until COVID hit, you could climb it, and we'd love to climb if we can. But that was the one we looked up there, and we were upset that we couldn't climb. But after we thought about it, we're like,
yeah,
maybe it's all right that we couldn't climb that one.
But and the other thing that is actually kind of cool about that one is they do have air balloon rides.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get a hot air balloon ride in the morning and see the whole site and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty spectacular.
Pretty cool. Okay, now we're gonna go back into Mexico City. That was a day trip. We're gonna go back into Mexico City and talk about this Chapultepec. I always have a problem saying it. Chapultepec Park. This park is like the biggest park. We got lost.
It's twice the size of Central Park in New York. Chapultepec Park and Chapultepec Castle.
Yeah.
There's a zoo.
Castle.
There's 2 lakes. There's a little carnival or circus thing there too.
And there's so much. And even within the park, there's museums, there's monuments, and then there's just public places where families just go to picnic and hang out and walking trails, and this place is massive. And I'm not lying when I say we got lost.
We did. We could not find the exit, literally.
That's when I say we got lost, we just kept walking around. But our problem was trying to find the exit. That's where we had an issue.
And if you haven't seen that video, check it out because we ate something that might really surprise you.
Oh yeah, check it out.
And the castle?
The castle is fabulous.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, yes. Definite must if you go to Mexico City.
Another place we went to around Mexico City, the Coyoacan neighborhood.
Oh, cute little neighborhood.
Oh, it was great. A little touristy now and stuff, but it's still just definitely worth going to.
But the reason it's so touristy is because if you guys have heard of Frida.
Yep.
Yeah. She is huge in Mexico, and they actually have her museum there.
Right. Just outside of probably the main area, but yeah, it's right in the Coyoacan neighborhood. The first Mexican artist to have a piece of art put in the Louvre, I believe it was called The Frame.
Yeah.
But she's actually been mentioned in a few of our videos.
And the thing is, we mention her a lot, but her husband,
Juan Diego, is the most famous.
He is the most
artist.
famous. Like, if you go to a lot of places, he's the one who's done the art and the murals in almost all of Mexico.
Yeah, the National Palace, all around the world. He did all the murals in the National Palace and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful work.
And they were married. So I know we talk about her a lot, but her husband was also a huge artist and huge in Mexico too.
Yeah, great food. Great location. We really enjoyed our day there.
If you truly do want some local food, I think Coyoacan's a place to get it. Coyoacan's amazing for food.
Yeah. And then the Zocalo, Renee brought up the National Cathedral in the central area, but another trip we took out of there was to the Shrine of Guadalupe.
Oh, yeah, the Basilica.
Yeah, the Basilica. And I don't want to give too much of the way. That's when you really have to kind of watch the video. Actually, the video has two places. The National Anthropology Museum, which is what starts the video. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was fascinating. But the Shrine of Guadalupe is the second part. And that is, there's millions and just tens of millions of people a year make a pilgrimage to Mexico to go to this place. And it was, I mean, you're almost quiet the whole time you're there just because
it is stunning, because you have to hear the story of how it all started. And I don't want to give the story away, but you have to hear the story because the story is kind of awe-inspiring, truly.
It's biblical.
Yeah.
On like Easter Sunday and Christmas week, there are like 100,000 people per mass there.
Yeah.
Between inside and then out in this big courtyard where they have the big jumbotrons going on.
Check the video out. That place is awesome.
But, and then Xochimilco, which we wanted to go to, that's another story. We couldn't make that one. We got kind of scammed there. So Xochimilco, we're going to leave that one out. But that is something you should do if you're in Mexico City.
If you are in Mexico City, don't try to go to Xochimilco by yourself. Do a tour. I know it's cheaper the other way, but it might not be because we tried the cheaper way and it actually cost us a lot more and we never even got to see it. Book a tour. In our video, we show you how to book the tour or who to call.
So, enough of Mexico City. Let's head
back to the coast.
Yep, start heading down that way. Bacalar.
Bacalar, the lagoon of 7 colors, right?
Yes.
So that water is completely different, but it also has the boat tour that we did, Los Rapidos.
Yes, Los Rapidos.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that. It's great restaurants. The water is so clear. The canal, I mean, it's just beautiful there.
The other thing, Fort San Felipe, right in the center of town there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Old Spanish fort right in the middle of town you can walk through.
Yeah, you could, like, they actually still have, like, the cannons on the wall and stuff like that. It's really cool. You guys should check that out, too.
Yeah. My mother-in-law helped build that. So. Sorry.
Yeah. The next one we're going to go to is the most off the grid.
The most remote place we have been to.
I wish everyone was capable of going to see this place, but I don't recommend it for non-travelers. I want you to be like a veteran traveler before you go to Ishkalak because it is off the grid.
There's a 2-lane road and the trees, I mean, just getting there in and of itself is something. There's not a gas station, an ATM, or Wi-Fi within an hour of this town.
It is off the grid.
It is right on the border with Belize. Great saltwater, flat fly fishing is what they say.
Yeah.
My cousin Dallas and I went there with Renee, and we proved them wrong that it's not that great.
And we did have a situation there. That's why I don't recommend it for everybody. We had a little bit of situation there. I just want you guys to watch the video to figure that out. But I will have to say, Ishkalak, even though we live on the coast, that was the best, by far, seafood I have had here in Mexico.
Airbnb was wonderful. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Ishkalak, but I'd caution 375 people. There's not a paved road in the town.
Yeah, and there's one road in, one road out. So just put it on your bucket list. Once you become a little more seasoned, check it out.
And you better speak pretty good Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so now let's head out of Xcaret. We're going to head north, start heading back up. Mahahual, the only cruise ship port on the Costa Maya part of Mexico, which is basically anything south of Tulum. Yeah.
If you're not on the cruise ship, I wouldn't even stop there. I would just keep driving. If you're on the cruise ship, I don't even know if it's worth getting off. That's just my opinion.
Renee was not a big fan. I wasn't any better.
No. It's so expensive. And they only open for the cruise ship time.
Right.
If we were there, there wasn't a cruise ship in town. Like
the first time,
yeah. Yeah, nothing was even open. And then when it did open, it was like they were on you, and everything was so expensive. Like everyone who goes on a cruise ship has millions of dollars to spend in Mahawa.
We were walking down the Malecon. We had 4 different hawkers trying to get us to buy things. At one time, you literally just couldn't even listen to them all.
Yeah, I was not a fan. I would say don't stop if you don't really need to. There's not much to see there anyways.
Okay, now that we started hating, let's continue hating, because when we started heading north from Mahawa, we're going to get to the city of Tulum, which was the coolest boho chic place 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not that anymore.
No,
Tulum.
Tulum's gotten way too overgrown. It doesn't even seem authentic anymore. It's hard to get to the beach unless you're staying at a beach resort.
Damn near impossible to park.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like Tulum.
The ruins are cool.
Yeah, the Tulum ruins were cool. That's the only reason I would go to Tulum. I know a lot of people love Tulum. It's just not what it used to be. It's way. You do
we're
you.
Corporate boho chic now.
Yeah, you do you, but I would skip Tulum as well. But I know a lot of people still love to go there.
Yes, they're building an airport there, so we'll see what happens soon in the future.
Yeah.
So heading north, we're gonna go all the way up to Akumal, which is just a few miles north of Tulum. That is the antithesis.
Right. It's just this cute little town with the town is colorful, and it's colorful because it's covered in murals.
Yes, every wall is covered in. I don't know who's painting on, obviously different people, but the murals.
Yeah, the murals are. The town is worth stopping in just to check out the murals. But if you're gonna stop in Akumal,
it's the turtles.
You have to go to the beach and swim with the turtles.
Yeah, that was on our bucket list, and Renee was even more fascinated than I was. It was pretty stunning.
They're so cute.
We seen all kinds of different fish and stuff. The turtles were the highlight, but we had a great day in Akumal. We got to travel along the beach, but
so just
turtles.
If you guys are interested in doing that, check out the video. We show you exactly where to stop, how much it costs, how to get in. We show you all of that. So if you guys are interested in it, which I think you should be, check that video out.
The next city with places around it, Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. I laugh because I have a love-hate relationship with Playa del Carmen.
I should hate it. I just bashed Cancun and Tulum, so I should bash Playa del Carmen.
But
it's the same thing, but it's so touristy that it almost begets this circusy type atmosphere that it's just fun to be in.
Yeah, because their vibe is so much different there.
Yes.
The vibe in Playa del Carmen does make you feel like you are inserted in a carnival or something, you know?
Fifth Avenue is just something you gotta see.
And the beaches there are actually pretty cool. And it's also where you can catch the ferry to Cozumel.
Yes.
So we go to Playa del Carmen, we live in a little tiny town, it's quiet. But for fun, we go to Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, it's pretty touristy when you get down to that area, but it's a fun touristy.
It is a fun touristy. Like I said, I have a love-hate relationship. I don't want to live in Playa del Carmen, but I love that I live close enough that I can visit it all the time.
Another thing you can do out of Playa del Carmen, there's a cruise ship ferry terminal there, or a ferry terminal there that takes you over to the island of Cozumel.
Cozumel's a lot of fun too.
First place I've ever been to in Mexico was Cozumel. We flew into there. It's kind of where we started our love affair with Mexico and stuff. And we've been there a few times. We rode a scooter around the island. You're taking your life in your own hands with that. But again, make sure you check out that video.
Yeah, because we go truly around the whole island. And we stop at a lot of beach clubs. We show you some family, all-inclusive beaches that you could just spend the day there. We show you a lot, so check that video out. Because Cozumel's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty informative video, so check all these out. But anyways, then we come back across to Playa del Carmen, and we did a couple day trips around there. And the Disneyland of Mexico, probably, other than maybe Gruta, I mean, there's so many great places, hard to say a day.
You can't.
But Xcaret Park, the Disneyland of Mexico, like $150 a person for the day with your food and everything. But that's the one place I'll say that much money is worth it.
And if you go online and you book 21 days in advance, you can get a discount. So if you know you're coming to Mexico and that is a place you want to go, book it in advance. Get your discount. Especially if you're spending on 4 or 5 people for a family, the discount's definitely going to be worth it. I would say if you are looking for something to do, go to Xcaret Park. It is a full day. Sun up to like 10 o'clock at night is a full day.
Yeah. The show in the evening, you cannot leave there. You cannot leave there without staying for the show.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
Yeah, it's literally going to 100 things. Watch the video. It's well worth it.
And I'm not even sure we got to do everything.
We didn't. There's parts of it we didn't got to. We talked about it afterwards. We were there from like 8 in the morning till 10 at night. And there's discount if you go 2 days in a row, but we could have won the second day, no problem.
Yeah, definitely could have done the second day there.
Yes.
Yeah. Xcaret's awesome. Okay. A couple other honorable mentions on our way back to our town.
Yes. Again, outside of, actually kind of between Playa and Tulum, but the ruins of Coba, one of the original capitals. Beautiful, beautiful ruins. And we had a guide at that one who was so knowledgeable, and he rode us around on a bike on a crazy hot day. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, that is where we learned a lot about the connection between all the different ruins too, because they show you that road.
Yep, Sunk Bay, the White Road.
So, Coba, I know this is gonna sound terrible because Chichen Itza is one of the 7 wonders of the world, but I would rather visit Coba, Ek Balam, Mayapan. I would rather visit those than Chichen Itza now that I've been to Chichen Itza. So if you've been to Chichen Itza, you love Chichen Itza and you want to see more, I would go to Coba, Ek Balam, and Mayapan. Those would be those would be my recommendations for other ruins to visit.
But Coba's certainly worth the trip.
Yes.
It was a great day.
It was a great day. Another honorable mention.
Actun
Chen. Cave and cenote.
Yes. It's one of National Geographic's top 10 underground cave walks.
Yes, and I understand why it is. It was very impressive.
Yes. And then when we left the cave walk, there is a zoo there, which is...
It's an animal park. They got some animals. It's not really a zoo. But then they do have like free wandering monkeys and deer and a few other things.
And a zipline course.
Yeah, and a ziplining course.
And then you head to the cenote.
The cenote.
The coldest... I'm from Minnesota. We got the Boundary Waters. This water is cold.
And there are a lot of little catfish, like a lot of little catfish.
There's a blind black catfish swimming around.
There are so many of them, and they're right at the entrance, so you truly have to walk down into the catfish to get into the cenote.
And another spot, bring your bug spray.
Just because of the cave, because of the cave. I know there's bats in the cave to try and eat all the bugs. They couldn't keep up. So
they were outside. Trust me, they were getting you in the jungle.
Oh my God, yeah.
Speaking of cenotes, one of our favorite. I mean, everybody has a favorite cenote, and everybody's is different. But right outside of our town, on the route to cenotes, obviously with the meteorite, made thousands of cenotes in this area. One of our favorite ones near our hometown is Kinha.
Yeah. However, on the route to cenotes, right outside of Puerto Morelos, there's like 18 cenotes to visit.
And they're all great.
And they are all great. They all have something different to offer. But we loved Cancun. It has 2 different cenotes. One's more of an adventurous one, and then one's more of a relaxing one. And they're beautiful and they're awesome.
Yes. And Renee had a little incident at Kinha, so make sure you check out that video.
Fail!
Check out Kinha.
Check out Kinha. You might get a chuckle.
And finally, with the giant drum roll, the last town on our list, our town, Puerto Morelos. We're half hour south of Cancun, 20 minutes south of the Cancun airport. It was a small town. It's rapidly growing, becoming more touristy and stuff. But first time we were here, it was beautiful. Second time we were here, it's beautiful. It's still beautiful. It'll always be beautiful. But it is growing pretty fast.
Yeah, obviously, as you can tell, we love Puerto Morelos. We love being stationed here and branching out to check everything else out. But Puerto Morelos is still kind of got its small town charm, but it's close enough to Cancun, it's close enough to Playa to still get a bunch of excitement. But the port side, which I would say the majority of you guys are going to go to, is going to be the port side in Puerto Morelos. You guys will love it.
It's where the beach is.
It's the beach access is far better than anywhere else.
Yes.
The beach access is amazing. Whatever street you choose to go down, you have access to the beach. You don't have to be at a beach club to have access to the beach. The little park area there, all the restaurants, the live music. I can't say enough about Puerto Morelos.
Yeah. We live on the other side of town. We live more with the locals. Of course, there's plenty of gringos on our side of town, but a little quieter. A little more old school and stuff, but still plenty of great features over here.
Oh, the food over on this side is really, really good and a lot cheaper.
Yes, it's delicious. By the way, if you're looking for Mexican food, find a place that sells salbutes. Never heard of it, have you? They're delicious.
Yeah. That's been our adventures in Mexico. We hope we gave you guys some inspiration or an idea or a place you might want to try an adventure to.
Yeah, we've been to and eaten at all kinds of different places. These are just places we made videos of, but I'd recommend just about every one of them. And it's been, we probably lived 10 people's lifetimes and stuff, I feel like. Just in the first 10 months of traveling, it was stunning.
If you guys like this video, if you guys have been to some of the places we mentioned, if you guys are interested in going to some of the places we mentioned, give us a comment, let us know. Watch our other videos. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, you watch all the videos we just mentioned on there. You're going to be, get some popcorn and make a weekend out of it because we have a lot of videos out there. So.
Oh my God. And like we said, that was just some of the places we've been. We didn't even talk about everything in our thing. So definitely check out our videos, like, subscribe, smash that notification button, and we will see you guys at our next one.
Thanks for watching.